Hey, everybody, it's Kate, and I am your host of the Creative Women's League podcast. I know I haven't been around recently, and if I'm being honest with myself, it's because I'm avoiding you. I know, that sounds horrible, right? But I made some decisions recently that really made me realize some things about the Creative Women's League, some things about my life, and Alfred's upset in the background. So many of you may know that I work with Bernina. I'm an independent contractor. I travel the US now putting on these events. They're called Bernina Academy. And as they develop other classes, as they develop other programs, I can start to teach those as well. I do trade shows. I do my own classes in stores. I have a lot of things going on with Tough Kitten Crafts. So, as you know, the CWL's information has been on and off and on and off, right? Did really well for a solid go there. And then my life got complicated and the CWL got dropped. And I always felt terrible about it. It was horrible. And I would ask you guys, what can I do to make the CWL better? Because I was always trying. I always felt like maybe there was something would click, and that would be the direction I could go and really focus. And this episode is totally off the cuff. Nothing is written down. I am sitting in my room with headphones on, just talking to you. So the CWL never made $1 outside of coaching. There was some coaching that happened in there, and that made money. But the CWL itself, the podcast, it was a labor of love. It was because I believe in you guys. I believe in the power of creative people. And I also believe in you finding your power, and women, marginalized people all over the world finding their power and their creativity and taking those steps they believed they couldn't. So that's it. That's where it all was born from. And not to go off on a whole other thing, but not even marginalized people. I saw myself, somebody who could have done this years ago and just kept not doing it. I wanted to coach people through. I wanted to help them. I wanted them to have a place. So as I started to write down my to-do list for the CWL, the to-do list for my day-to-day life, like laundry and spending time with Brad and seeing Jade, my stepdaughter, and for Tough Kitten Crafts, the thing that is actually paying the bills, I realized there was no way I could get it all done. And I also realized that I had to focus, right? What's causing me joy? Well, Brad and Jade aren't going anywhere. I love them so much. So they go on the calendar first. Tough Kitten, Bernina pays the bills right now. They are my number one contractor. My class is being second, and there we go. Bernina goes on the schedule next. That left so little time for anything else. And when I split that time between CWL and Tough Kitten Crafts, this is what we got. We got a whole lot of missed Wednesdays. We got lives that I would schedule and be too tired to attend. It was heartbreaking. I have so many big dreams for the Creative Women's League, and I wasn't actually making good on any of them because I was pulled too many different directions. When Brad said, if you could give up Creative Women's League tomorrow, would you? And I said, absolutely not. I would not. I don't want to give up Creative Women's League. I want to make myself be more organized. I want to make myself do better. I want to force myself to make this happen. And Brad said, oh, okay. Do you really want to give up? If you could do CWL full time, would you give up going into these stores and teaching? And I said, I can't give it up. It feels like it's what I'm supposed to do. Brad's like a little Yoda in my life. So he was like, okay, well, I think you have your answer then. But this was months ago. Flash to me reading Rachel Hollis's book, Girl, Stop Apologizing. And she has a whole chapter that is summed up by a Ron Swanson quote from Parks and Rec. Don't half-ass two things when you can whole-ass one thing. So that was when I realized that it wasn't that I didn't love the CWL. It wasn't that I didn't love you guys. It was just that I couldn't do it. I have to go all in on one dream. So that was painful. I basically, which is kind of not the point of the book, but then I basically had to talk to everybody about it. And it was almost like me getting permission to change the CWL, permission to stop the CWL in its tracks and not have it, and give up on a lot of the dreams and trajectory I had planned for the CWL. I love it more than anything. I really do. That's why I've limped through it for so long. But I'm doing you a disservice by promising you one thing and not delivering. So what I've realized is that I can promise something that I can actually deliver on, right? We always talk about this with branding. Do you know what I can offer? I can be your biggest frickin' cheerleader. I can be your fan. I can be a place where you can go for inspiration. So the Creative Women's League Instagram is staying up. I am going to see what I can do about the CWL podcast, just staying up and being there for the indefinite future. I mean, there's no plans for any other podcasts. There is, just so you know, there's a nagging in the back of my brain that says maybe we could do limited run on the interviews. But that's something that I have to focus on later. So listen for all of that. That'll all be coming. But you can still follow us on Instagram at Creative Women's League. You can still join the Facebook group at Creative Women's League. And the focus now is going to be motivation, inspiration, community. We're just taking the know-how out. I'll still be there. If you have a question on, how you can get more eyes on your Instagram, if you have a question on hashtag curation, anything, I want you to message me and ask me. Absolutely every time. But I want you to know that I'm going to be there for you in the capacity that I am really great at, in the capacity that I can commit to. So I love you guys so much. I don't even want to end this episode. It might make me cry. Please go follow me over at Tough Kitten Crafts if you're one of the sewists around, or if you just want to keep up with me and what I am doing. That's the account that will be more often updated. I update that every day. That is where my focus is going, because where focus goes, energy flows. And I want to whole ass one thing. So I love you guys so much. I don't even know how to end this episode because it is breaking my heart. Here is to new beginnings and the wonderful things that we don't even know are possible yet. So I'm hoping that once I close this door, once I send this off into the world, it only opens more space in your podcast listening, more space in your looking for a great coach. And by the way, if you're in this moment yourself where you're caught between a bunch of cool ideas that you have that you'd love to execute on, the weight that was lifted off my shoulders when I said the words, the CWL is going to end, the weight that was off my shoulders was incredible. And you deserve to feel that for sure. I don't know if you can hear Brad's TV in the background. Thank you guys so much. I love you. I'm going to end it there. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to reach out and talk about this, you yourself are feeling pulled between two things you really love, let's talk. Let's talk for sure. I love ya. This is me signing off for the last time. I am going to go cry now, I think. Just thank you so much. Really, thank you so much.